Whoa! Wait there. We're not. That's not the show we're doing tonight. Hello, everybody. This is Nocosfere. I'm just cutting off all the bullshit, all the I watched a lot of Disney shows nowadays, and especially with like Ahsoka and Star Wars, their introductions are just getting bigger and bigger. And I noticed that with Joe's stream too. His intro, he's getting more and more. He's creating a lot of stuff for his content. So he creates more and more intros, and they're gone to like, I think they're like Star Wars, where they're just getting bigger and bigger, especially like the end credits. So we're gonna cut this off a little short and get started right away. Let me get rid of this. I'm kind of learning this. Let's see, gonna do that. Yeah, there we go. So hey, we're gonna be talking a couple things tonight. We got some, I got some buddies joining me, the normal people coming on. We're gonna discuss some board games. We're gonna discuss some actors. We're going to discuss some Ahsoka, all types of things. So my first guest here that showed up is John. Hey, how you doing, John?
Yeah, doing good.
By the way, the cutting off the intro was not planned. So I don't know what you thought about John. What about you, man? What did you think about it?
I liked it. It felt planned.
Yeah. I planned it about like an hour ago. So that was about an hour ago. I was like, I don't know.
That still counts as premeditation.
Putting my own little stamp. Now this right here, this is me and Joe came up with this on Sunday. I just thought it was hilarious. You got the knock over Joe's face there, and it's the Nocosfere. So that we kind of came up with that one on the fly. So
yeah, putting the knock over Joe's face is sort of like on Nick Weiser's streams where they show clips from movies that have nudity, where they put Mad Mardigan's face over the nudity. So
I was thinking more like the like Deadpool kind of deal.
Yeah.
Just the kind of, that's why it's so scratchy and just kind of, scribbled out and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ahsoka, did we all see Ahsoka?
Yep.
I completely blanked on it last night and didn't watch it. I watched it this morning, and then I watched it again when I got home because I didn't have it on sound this morning. So, because I was at work, but I didn't want any spoilers. Like when I was on break and on lunch and just scrolling through social media, because I went on Facebook, and that's what reminded me. I went on Facebook and I saw Thrawn. I was like, crap.
Yeah.
So I got off social media and I started watching it, but I had it on mute. So I was like, I got to hear Thrawn. So after I got home from work, I watched it again. But what did you guys think of it?
I thought it was good. It just wasn't as good as last week, although
Really?
it did have some better payoffs this time.
I enjoyed the small talk that they had on it. There was like Balin, and Thrawn. Just man, I love hearing. I just want to hear Thrawn talk more.
Yeah, he sounds just like he sounds in the animated series too.
Man, there we go. Well, it's the same guy. So
yeah, I know.
I gotta watch the video of Timothy Zahn. How do you say his name? Talking about it, because I read an article earlier today about it, and he's so excited about the live action of his character coming to life.
Yeah.
And they're asking, hey, are you going to write more about it? And he's like, well, when you're in that position where you don't know what Dave Filoni's going to do with the character and what's going to happen hereafter, he can't really write books right now about it.
Yeah.
So he has to wait.
Right.
And then you got this whole 9 years where Thrawn's been on this world. We have no idea what happened. He can't even write about that yet because he doesn't know what Dave's going to do with it. So, But I know he says he's chomping at the bits to start writing on that.
Yeah.
He has had the opportunity to write some on it. So yeah, I mean, I think overall, if you add like the expanded universe and Disney, I think it's like maybe 11 books. So I think there was
there's five pre, and then there's 6 total.
Yeah.
3 of them are prequel.
Yeah.
They're with his time during. I'm actually on the 3rd book of that prequel trilogy, but it's pre-Empire time when he's still with the Chiss Army. So I really enjoyed it. I liked how they used Sabine. They let her go.
Yeah.
Balin was able to do that. I like the what I think is the undead army that's sitting behind Thrawn. I think they're all dead. I think they're all just kind
of. Honestly, did you think his lieutenant was actually Ezra for a second?
I I thought about it, but again, it kind of went with the same thing as Marak. I don't know. Once you saw all those dead soldiers, it was kind of like he's probably the same vein, or for all we know, probably the last living one.
I noticed there was quite the juxtaposition to how they introduced Thrawn as far as how they introduced Ezra. Thrawn with the whole the whole loud
Theater
soundtrack, and the sort of a royal type entrance, and Ezra just, hey,
hey, long time no see there, buddy.
Yeah.
And it almost like
people.
it's almost like they should have just patted each other on the back. I'm really not liking the whole friend dynamic thing. And it's just, like when she turned around and saw him, I expected her to run at him, and it was no, it just I'm not a fan of that whole dynamic. There was something between them, and this is kind of making light of it. I don't know. There's just something about it that I don't care for.
I once heard of Ezra referred to as Space Aladdin, and ever since then I can't not think of Aladdin whenever I look at Ezra, even the live action version.
The beard kind of shocked me a bit.
I did, but I really liked the green eyes. I don't know if you guys noticed the green eyes. That was pretty cool. I don't know. Yeah. It was definitely they definitely like the eyes in Ahsoka. Hera's eyes are they're very pronounced. And
Hera's almost like the meme of the laser eyes, except they're blue. They're that intense.
Yeah. So no, I think I'm glad they didn't wait until the last episode of Thrawn. That's all I'm that's all I'm happy about.
My concern was that it was going to be the last scene in the last episode.
Right. Yeah, he just turns around and then that's it. Finally you arrived. And
well, see you later.
Like what they did with Luke in the sequel trilogy at the end of the first movie. Gets there.
Right. And
where were you the whole movie?
Yeah, and the Easter eggs would have been oh yeah, that's a callback to when Luke turned around, and that's an homage to him turning around. Cool, bro. That's not what we want. So I really hope that there's a lot more of Thrawn in the next one too. Next 2 episodes, really. I mean, they can't kill him off yet. They got a lot to do still. But I'm just curious what's going to come after this, because they're gonna come back.
Yeah,
I'm guessing into the universe somehow. It would be kind of interesting if all this happened and then somehow Ezra sacrifices himself again, and then he's gone again. So
that would really suck. But.
Yeah. So no, and then I really like that gold ship that came in, and they did what is it called with the filicast? Is that what it's called? The Japanese method of doing the gold inside and putting things back together with gold.
Yeah.
Which is what basically that ship had a lot. That starship had a lot of gold in it.
All the stormtrooper armor was like that.
Yeah,
all
and then the
stormtrooper.
yeah. And so that was really cool. When did they start? Was that just Dave Filoni, with the whole Japanese kind of culture taken from culture, because they're really digging into that in the series.
No, because
I know they did a little bit of Mando.
The original Star Wars, one of the inspirations is an Akira Kurosawa movie called Hidden Fortress.
Yep.
And in fact, R2-D2 and C-3PO are the 2 main characters, or the 2 side characters from that you see the story from. So that's part of where that inspiration comes from. So yeah, he's Kurosawa's been an influence on Star Wars since the beginning.
Yep. And Westerns.
And Westerns, yeah.
Yeah, it just seemed like they're really leaning into that in this series, and not that that's a bad thing or anything.
No.
I thought the little bad guys, the little raiders or whatever they found, they look like a bastardized version of samurais or something like that. So
yeah, they definitely had that style of armor because they had the lamellar layering on their armor,
the flaps or whatever.
Yeah.
And
they kind of had the bad guy of the week look to them.
yeah, and I'm wondering, part of me, and they spoke the language, so I this theory for mine doesn't really hold much weight, but then Ezra speaks it too. I'm wondering if there's some of because what on this planet was there when Thrawn got there? Were these people there? Are these maybe people that ran away from the Star Destroyer, and then they kind of got acclimated with the planet and formed their own little thing and became raiders? Like, are these former Imperials? Is what I'm wondering.
What if they're the male Dathomir?
Leftovers?
Yeah, that they've ran away from the witches. That
Something.
seems more likely because they've been
Yeah,
here.
it's
The
true.
witches have been, and I'm glad we got actual Dathomir witches.
Yeah.
Not
That was
this.
real confusing for me at first because I had no idea that they came from a different place.
Oh, I
Like
didn't
the
either.
orig-
That wasn't in the
I didn't
original.
think so, but I wasn't sure. I thought they were just Dathomir and that's it. But now we're talking like they had outposts for different Dathomir. I guess it's more of a. I guess it's more of a culture than it is like a world.
Yeah, it was apparently a fallen.
Kind of like
empire,
Mandalorians.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting what they do with that. The interactions there. What I'm really hoping to see, and I don't know if they'll be able to do it this season, but especially if they make it back to the known space, I really hope in live action they show Thrawn's tactical genius in play.
Well, they already started with this episode. Because
sort of, but I want to see him like in the heat of a battle.
Yeah,
like picking people apart, like in some of the books where he'll use like a scout ship to attack, fall back, and depending on how they reacted, that's how he would know who's in charge. You know, and that's what I'm talking about. I want to see.
Oh yeah,
I want to see the mainstream people see like why we're so hyped about this guy in an actual scene on the show. What he's really capable of, other than just being like any. Really, he's like any politician right now, even though he sucks at politics. He's like any scheming, scheming bad guy right now. There's nothing really that sets him apart besides he's blue. So that's all I'm hoping for. I mean, he's got the charisma. You can tell that right away. But
you notice he didn't ask for their personal opinions of Ahsoka like a lot of generals or politicians would. He said, "Bring me all the information you have." I want this, that, and the other thing. And
who was her master? Yeah.
Who was her master? Who was her? What's she been doing? Where's she been?
Yep.
He wanted the facts about her, so he didn't rely on looking through someone else's lens because that's not how Thrawn does things.
I feel like he still takes that too into consideration though, because he does like seeing the different how other people see it.
Yeah, he'll still take that into account.
But I agree. Yeah, he definitely prefers the facts, so he can revert. But I'm just curious, what could he learn that would tear our newly Ahsoka the White off her perch. She's supposed to be balanced now, right? She's white. She's the white Ahsoka now with the white cape and everything. So she's balanced. So what is he going to do to throw her off and make her back to going gray or whatever? Because I saw some of the Easter eggs and they were talking about how with that fight against Balin. I'm sorry, I'm brain farting right now, but that she was getting close to the dark side, and I never understood this. Like, and the whole eyes going yellow. She never once in the history of her have gone anywhere near the dark side. This doesn't make sense. Just because and needing closure on Anakin maybe, but not because she's going evil.
No,
like I didn't understand that. I don't understand that.
Well, she was never a gray Jedi. She didn't fit into that category. She was still she quit being a Jedi, but she still stayed fully on the light side.
Right. Yeah. She just didn't go by the Jedi teachings all the way. She didn't.
Yeah. She saw the inherent flaws in their traditions, and she realized that there was a better way.
Yeah. And in his own way, that's what Balin thinks too.
Yeah.
He's just a little bit more, aggressive in what he does.
Yeah.
That's all.
He still hasn't thrown Force lightning. So he hasn't gone fully to the dark side yet, even though their lightsabers are orange.
So I'm really excited to see what more Thrawn, as much Thrawn as I can get. I don't do the comics, but I'll read any novel that's put out about him, and I'll watch any show with him. And if they have a Thrawn, the TV series, that's going to be the best thing ever.
I hope they do. That'd be an awesome spinoff.
Like I said, I just want to see him show more of what he's good at, and then they can, kind of do whatever.
I don't think you'll see a Thrawn series. I think they want to kind of keep a mystique about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And him having his own series might be an issue. Now, one thing they did here that they've done with I know with Book of Boba Fett, they may have done it with another series too. I think they did it with Mandalorian at least once too. Is they had an episode that didn't have the title character in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't remember. I don't recall seeing Ahsoka in there at all. If she was
at the beginning. They were doing the they were in the ship in the space whale, and what's his name told her a story, basically.
Gotcha.
And then that was it.
But it was the way they did it. It was kind of like a dig at Star Wars in the first place.
Oh yeah, a long time ago, and a place got far away.
No, because she's they were talking about Galactic History 1, 2, 3, so it's a trilogy.
Oh, gotcha.
And she goes, well, the first one's the better. So if you think about the sequel trilogy, the first one's the only decent one, and the rest of them are crap.
I missed that entirely. So
yeah, I missed that
too.
Yeah. That's what I picked up from it anyway.
That if that were the case, that'd be Disney calling themselves crap, because Disney was the ones that made the third set. So,
Well, it could also be the original trilogy. You're saying the Star Wars the best one, even though we all know Jedi, or not Jedi, but Empire Strikes Back is the best of the three.
Yeah, and if you guys want to go back, I don't know what episode it is, but we definitely had a breakdown of all the Star Wars, and we made our own list of our top of the movies themselves, nothing of the shows or any of that. We actually did our top 11, I believe it was 11 movies of Star Wars.
Yeah, that was Star Wars week.
Yeah, during Star Wars week, so that was a lot of fun. So I guess up to this point, what are you guys thinking of this series?
I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. I mean, it's kind of on par with what Disney has been doing. Sometimes I feel like they get too tied up with the scenery.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the scenery kind of overwhelms the story. Sometimes the look of it, sometimes it just feels like they don't necessarily have the best writing to go with the look. Sometimes there's a good amount of standing and talking and pausing and
walking slowly in circles.
Which that worked for Andor, but I don't know that style works so much with Ahsoka. I think there's some good and bad, but I still think of Ahsoka as like an RPG character. Like she's in every important scene in Star Wars. Just none of the main characters knew it. At the time. I think it's a decent show.
Yeah. This is where they officially had me from, it's okay, to I like it. Was this right here.
Okay. Now that actress did really good at the part. She's in a couple of stuff. I think Barbie.
Yeah, and she's Little Gamora.
Yeah, Little Gamora. Yeah, she's pretty good.
So was Anakin going to say, I'm paraphrasing the line from when she was Little Gamora with blanking on his name, the Mad Titan in Marvel, the main baddie in the
Thanos.
Thanos.
Yeah.
Whenever Thanos is talking to her, and what's this thing, what did it cost you? Everything. It's waiting for them to
that meme's out there too.
Okay.
Nice. The one thing that is bothering me, and I discussed this with a coworker of mine during lunch today, is that everyone seems to know who everyone is, and it's getting kind of annoying. Like Thrawn knows who Balin is. Oh, you're General Balin. Like, dude, hey, Balin was there during the whole time, guys. What, you don't remember him? It's like we're right. Supposed to remember who Balin is, even though we've never met the guy. And he's been part of the clone. Like I guess during the Clone Wars, he was a general. He survived Order 66, and it's like,
every Jedi was a general.
Right, but I mean, it's the fact that there's not a lot of big Jedis that survived Order 66.
No, and I don't think the thing is he wasn't a big Jedi. I think he was
enough to make an imprint on Thrawn.
Yeah. It's Thrawn though. Thrawn's going to remember pretty much he probably remembers everybody in the Jedi Order he ever came across. Even the Padawans.
Hey, how you doing, Eclay?
Hey, Eclay.
We're just discussing some Ahsoka. I don't know how much you've been watching, but yeah, how you doing, bud? I don't know, but definitely the biggest thing for me was this guy.
Yeah,
I mean, there's nothing more I could say. We as fans of Thrawn, I've been waiting for me. I've been waiting for 20 years. The book has been out for over 30 years of the original trilogy. But I was, of course, read it until I was like 10 or 11.
I was pissed when George decided to make the special edition instead of making Heir to the Empire.
Yeah.
What do you mean the special edition?
He turned Star Wars into the special edition rather than making a new the trilogy, regardless of how popular it was, because everybody wanted a lot. They wanted those movies.
Mm.
Yeah, that and isn't it supposedly that the original trilogy is non-existent as far as being able to reproduce it? That's what I've always heard as far as how it originally appeared in the theaters.
Oh, I mean, it's got to be in a vault.
It's in a vault somewhere.
It's in his vault.
I've got a copy of it that was taken from the Laserdisc. I mean, it's not quite 1080p, but it's still the crispest of the despecialized. And I've got the despecialized version too, where somebody went and edited it. But I actually have that, and I've got the VHSs packed away.
I know my parents have the VHSs of the original ones for sure.
Yeah, so they exist. It's just whether they'll see light of day or not as a new release. And I think if Disney gets far enough down there, they'll go, okay, we need some money. Let's release the original uncut Star Wars as it was seen in the theater. And
well, and one good thing about Disney owning it, maybe the only good thing about Disney owning it, is that they may actually do that, whereas George would have never done. He would never have re-released the original versions if he was still in control, because he always wanted to make tweaks to it, and whatever the latest tweak was the only thing he really wanted out there.
Well, I think my main question is, when are we going to get the Zack Snyder's director cut? I'm wondering.
Star Wars.
Yeah. I'm wondering when that's going to appear. We need more director's cuts, right? That's the thing.
Well, yeah. Not all the directors of the original trilogy are alive.
Right. Yeah.
So that's going to be a little.
I meant Zack Snyder's though, like his version.
Oh, you want Zack Snyder to?
I want Zack Snyder's version of Star Wars. Yeah, director's cut version of Star Wars. Yeah, there you go.
Although, in fairness, the guy that did Empire Strikes Back is it Irvin Kershing? It's either Irving or Irvin Kershing.
Yeah.
He's always been old.
Yeah.
He has since passed, but he's always been an old guy. So
yeah, I think he was old back when he started in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Mm. All right, so I don't know. You guys got any more thoughts on Ahsoka? Where you hoping it goes to with these next two commercials or next two shows? I mean,
I think that that's it. That's what I've got is the 4K 77. It's not perfect, but it's not as crisp as pulling it off the Masters would be, but it is pretty good.
So it's just for us young folks that have no idea what the hell you're talking about. It's just like a film, like an actual like.
Okay, he's got scans of the film, which means it's taken from the 35 millimeter prints that like the big real like they used to do like they used to have in theater, the film.
Right.
Now the laser discs were huge, like record size discs in a hard shell, like a floppy, like the 3.5-inch floppy that you put into your laser disc player. And it was the crispest and the purest you could get. It is was laser discs. that was the best home video you could get. They were expensive at the time.
Can you even find those anymore?
Oh yeah,
Maybe in a pawn shop or something.
No, you can buy them on eBay.
Are they gonna research like vinyls at Walmart?
No, that's a format that won't research like vinyl.
Okay, all right, 97% scan from film. Okay, all right, but yeah, okay. So John, what do you with these next 2 episodes? What are you hoping? Either conclusion or what are you looking for out of the next 2 episodes? That would make it think I like this show too. This is the best show I've ever seen. The ending of this season is awesome.
Well, I want to finally get a resolution with Ezra and Sabine.
Okay.
I'd like to see, because even though you see that video of him saying "You're like my sister,"
oh yeah,
that wasn't how he felt in the cartoon at all.
No.
And I mean, she rejected until he was gone, and then you just don't up and leave and go off with Ahsoka to go try and find just a friend.
Yeah, you don't keep his lightsaber. You don't keep a hologram of him. You don't keep, you don't rub his face on a painting. In a very longing way.
Yeah, that wasn't brother and sister unless you're talking Game of Thrones.
Yeah, right.
I think I'd like to see them maybe in the last episode sort of bring in some more characters like Zeb and Callius.
I was disappointed we didn't get Zeb because
I believe the reasoning that I heard was just from jokes is that he was too expensive.
Yeah, I think there's probably some truth to that.
Yeah,
wait. They got other effects they want to do. Like undead army of stormtroopers that kind of ran out of budget was kind of running out. So
Thrawn's Star Destroyer coming in. That was an epic shot.
It was. I think for me, I'm wondering is it on repulsor lit? Like how is it staying up on that thing without just falling in?
Yeah,
it's the tower poking out of it. I don't know. It's just Star
Destroyers can go in the atmosphere. They can, I know they
can go in the atmosphere, but it just seems weird how a platform worked like that. I don't know why.
Well, they use repulsor technology just like X-wings or.
Well, that's the
everything
thing.
Else.
And I guess when you're in a different solar system, you can always look for the stuff. It's how do they keep it going?
No,
besides the matching up, how did they get the fuel? They just happened to have a way to get fuel.
There's probably gas giants in the system.
I'm guessing so, but
yeah,
man, to be able to think that far ahead that you have mining equipment and extraction equipment to do that kind of stuff.
I mean,
it is a big ship, so I mean, I guess it's possible.
It's like trying to drive an electric car cross country. You hope you come across a Bespin. Otherwise, you'll be.
Or you got to send your gas-powered, henchmen ahead and block it off.
Well, yeah, you would think that a ship of that size would have fueler ships that it has a bay that has fueler tankers in it. They go out and see, that made no sense. I'm like, Ruin Johnson again.
Yes.
But
wasn't that the same movie that had the Holdo maneuver?
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. No, so that was kind of my thing. Is how has it been working for 9 years? So that was the thing, kind of weird. And E-Clay, I actually thought about that too. Maybe they're using dark magic. And I at this point they're definitely excuse me, they're definitely getting into the more mystical side of Star Wars with the show. You get the Night Sisters and all that stuff, but I don't know if dark magic can do anything for fuel. That just seems a little more.
No, I still and as far as maintaining it, I'm sure they've got techs. I mean, there'd be techs and stuff. I mean, if you look at you look at all the previous Star Wars and stuff, you don't always just see stormtroopers. All those guys running around the background are techs.
Mm.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. I'm curious of what is actually left of Thrawn's force besides these things, because he had that scene where he only sent the two squads of troopers after Balin and Sabine, and he's like, no, that's enough. We're kind of dwindling on supplies here.
Yeah.
So.
I'm willing to bet he only has what's on the ship. I think he consolidated everything to what's on the ship.
And that's what made me kind of wonder, obviously it's more logical that they're native beings, but I'm wondering if any of those raiders are, deserters that just kind of adopted the native tongue. But I know that's kind of far-fetched, but, theory time.
They all had helmets, so we couldn't tell if they were Zabrak or not, or however you pronounce it. The same race that Darth Maul is.
Hmm.
Little spikes.
They did make the weird grunting noises though.
Yeah, they did.
So who knows?
Yeah. But since they're going to be working with Balin, we might find out next episode.
Yeah, that's the other thing is how they going to resolve him in the next 2 episodes, because and it's a second season of him would have been so good, but I don't know how they're ending this. We don't know how they're ending this season with him yet. So I'm wondering, like, what is Shen going to do? Is she just going to go straight up, screw this, I'm going dark side?
I'm waiting for her to stick the lightsaber through the back.
Yeah. So
although it's been nerfed, so that probably won't kill him.
Yeah,
that's true.
True.
That's true. Looking at his gut, maybe animal. I mean, he's been on vacation for 9 years. Let him eat.
Yeah, he's not the Thrawn that had like the V-shaped torso in Rebels.
Yeah. I doubt he's taking the time to do all that.
Plus, that actor is not. He's not a young guy. So
right.
No. And remember, Thrawn has been around since before the Clone Wars.
Mm.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Do we know how long Chiss lived for? I don't even know if they've ever explained how, relative to humans, how long they live. I don't know if they've ever discussed that.
But we're talking 30 to 40 years since he showed up in the books. When he first showed up. And when
he showed up during the Clone Wars, this is what, about 20 years before Battle of Yavin?
30 years.
30 years, and then this is what, 10, 15 years after? No,
something like that.
It's like 20, 30 years, I think, right?
Is it? So but either way, he's an old man.
Like, yeah, he's over 50.
That's why I don't think Rex is alive, even though I would love a Rex. I mean, we got Rex in the flashback from in the spirit scene with Ahsoka.
Well, this would only be 9 years after Rebels, and he was alive. So unless something happened to him.
Well, he was in Return of the Jedi.
They age it twice. Well, twice the rate is my understanding. True. So he would be about 60 in terms of, comparable to normal humans.
Yeah. But if he had his chip removed, he fried his chip. That's true. Yeah. So I'm wondering how much, because he's not basically as controlled and stuff, because I don't wonder how much of that is the extra stuff they put in their head that's causing them to age faster.
I thought it was genetics.
It might have been, but
I'm trying to think with Thrawn as far as his origins. Again, going back to the thing I know, which is the old Lucas stuff. There was a novel called Outbound Flight that Zahn wrote after Heir to the Empire.
That's right. I forgot about that book.
Yep.
So I guess
that's a 12th
book at least that Thrawn's in with Zahn. But I think that was set either during the Clone Wars or right before the Clone Wars. Like
Anakin was a teenager at that time, I believe. He was a young Padawan.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a Padawan since he was a kid.
Actually, he had just graduated. He had just graduated from being Padawan to Jedi.
Right. Yeah, that's right. So he was like 13 or 14 at that time. So it was definitely before Clone Wars. Yeah, because he was very enthralled with what's his name, Sabath.
Yeah.
And the way he did things, and then they were originally going to join the Outbound Flight, and then Palpatine was like, no, get him off that flight now.
There's also an old the Weston Games
We have
that made
plans
the
for
RPG
you.
books.
Yeah.
Back in the late 80s, early 90s, they had there was a story in one of those of where the I guess maybe the Republic at the time discovered Thrawn, and so
a little short story.
Yeah, Zahn wrote a short story in one of those.
They've redone that one a bunch of times. Yeah.
Yep.
Even in the new canon books, they have that scene where he first ambushes them and whatnot and sneaks on board their ship and then gets taken to the Empire or Emperor. That's in the new trilogy, or not the most recent trilogy, but the new canon trilogy.
Also, the planet they were on this episode, I don't know how to say it, Karada, but
it was like
Karita. It was also it's in a lot of the new canon and a lot of the old canon stuff. So it's that planet has been at least referenced in a lot of material.
Yeah.
So he's supposed to be like Fat Thor. Maybe we'll get a montage workout with Thrawn. Who knows? Maybe we'll get pushing up trains and whatnot, and
play the South Park music in the background. It's gonna be a montage.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't know. I think he's playing the part really well. I guess I'm curious how Balin's going to end up. Is my biggest thing because he's proven to be awesome at that role.
Yeah, he's definitely the best. I mean, as much as I love Ahsoka, Balin's the best character in the show.
Well, you take him seriously when he's in a scene.
Yeah, and this was like his best. Like I just wanted him to keep talking. Like it's just I don't know what you're preaching, man. I just want to keep hearing it. So, and it's going to be interesting how much of Shen takes from that. She's kind of walled off in a way. She asks questions, but he doesn't really give a whole lot as to what she's thinking, as far as like which way she's leaning. She's just kind of letting Balin lead, as Padawans generally do.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of it's interesting what she's going to do after he's gone.
Well,
or is she going to even be there?
She wasn't happy that they let Sabine go.
Mm-hmm.
She gave him that look when they let him go, and I'm like, she's not happy. But Balin is effectively in the Ben Kenobi role right now.
Mm.
And he's got that.
We're just discussing the Ahsoka right now, Keely. I don't know if you have any thoughts on it. So if you haven't seen it, spoilers. We are discussing the latest show from last night. So just so you know, we're kind of wrapping it up here. Just kind of in our final. So what we're hoping for the end of the season. We have 2 episodes left, and then kind of a segue. Any final thoughts, guys? I do have a kind of a segue here. Something that just came to mind.
I'm looking forward to the rest of the episodes, and I hope that it does get a second season because I think it deserves it.
One thing I saw the other day is, and just remember, after this is done, I think the week right after, we got Loki.
Yep.
Loki season 2. And I'm going to have to rewatch the first season. I haven't watched it since it, when it aired the first time, first came out. So I'm definitely going to have to rewatch that before it comes out. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more just Loki. It seems like it's going to be just all over the place, which,
it could be fun.
Sounds like it's going to be in different time periods and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just seeing different perspectives and things like that. It's going to be, and we're going to see I think the other Loki and McDonald's. I think they've been pushing that one pretty hard. That scene.
Yeah. You might see multiple Kangs. Yeah.
Well, we know we're going to see the turn of the century King.
Yep.
When he's doing the steampunk type show thing,
right?
Because that was that bonus scene in what movie was it attached to? I don't remember.
Was it Guardians or was it something Guardians 3 or something before that?
No, it was before that.
Yep.
It was well before that. It was it Eternals? No, it wasn't Eternals because that was Star Fox. Anyway,
Sure.
whatever movie it was
Yeah.
attached to. Yeah.
I guess just another thing that kind of popped into my mind while we're going to be moving on to some of these lists that I got. I just found some stuff. I don't know if there's any topics you guys want to discuss before we move on. If you got anything you want to talk about.
No, I like our list we're going to be working on, so I'm good with that.
Before I go into that, I did want to show, because I always like it when we do this pretty much every other week, is the box office stuff.
Oh yeah.
I like this. Now, Joe usually does the domestic. I like doing the worldwide because you can see the domestic on here as well, and we can see that Barbie has just killed it. We all know that.
Yeah.
Killed it. And before that was
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, Oppenheimer is almost up to Bill.
Yeah,
that's pretty nice.
That was surprising.
Yeah, it was further behind, and then just like caught up. We made it past Guardians and whatnot. So
I'm surprised it made most of its money overseas.
True.
Oh yeah. 300 mil versus almost 600, almost double.
Yeah.
Really. It's really, that must have been what beefed it up. Was that? I think that's why there was a big difference before, because we showed the domestic, so it was always 300 mil.
I mean, there's more of the rest of the world than there is in the United States, but there's a lot of countries that like the UK, they only make they may make 50 billion or 50 million on through a whole run. Japan goes to a lot of movies, so that you get about the same run in there, between 20 and 50 depending on the movie. China is where you get the big chunks. If you manage to
probably most of where Meg 2 did well. Is that what?
Yeah, Meg 2 was big in China. Yeah.
300 mil compared to 81 in domestic.
Yeah, the United States audience just don't get it.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
I'm part of that group.
The Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse did well, considering it's an animated film. The budget's probably not, insanely high. So
it was 100 million.
Yeah, so it.
They made profit just on domestic.
Yeah, down there at number 17, Sound of Freedom. I looked at the budget of that the other day, so I just happened to remember it. It was like 14.5 or 50, or maybe like 15 million or 17 million. Like it was somewhere in there. I think it was 17 million. It's made back 14 and a half times its budget. Which is
and it didn't play in as many theaters either. So
right, and there was also some accusations of some tomfoolery with certain theaters, saying the projector was broken or the AC was broken. That kind of stuff.
This still kind of makes me sad, and I think it's because I went and saw it. But the Blue Beetle, basically topping out at 120 mil.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
this is what's going to kill DC movies, and I know we've talked about this before. Joe is very adamant that he blames it on James Gunn.
Oh yeah, basically, you tell people that the movie doesn't matter. People aren't going to go to it.
Yep, it's a factor.
So we'll see how they go.
And Aquaman's going to completely tank. It's good. I think it's going to do worse than Blue Beetle did. I'm hearing the audience are walking out of.
I think people are going to show up. I don't think it's going to go crazy, but I do think Jason Momoa has enough pull that it'll do okay.
Yeah, it'll do okay.
Like it'll be in like the 500-600 mil range.
Is he going to be able to get over Amber Heard's crap though?
Well, we'll have to see 30 minutes of there. So
yeah, it's hard to tell. Now I do. What I would like to do is go to David Zaslav, that's over Warner Brothers, or over Universal Discovery, whatever it is, and say, hey, so here's a 4-inch piece of duct tape. This 4-inch piece of duct tape will make you $50 million extra on Aquaman. Oh, it's a great. What do I have to do with the duct tape? Put it over James Gunn's mouth.
Yep.
And
yeah. Although the damage has already been done, so
Aquaman is going to tank. A little nice pun. Good one.
I wonder if anybody was going to get that or not.
I did not. It passed over my head.
I missed it. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, that's a little bit of the box. I know we didn't go into like the last weekend or anything like that, but there wasn't really anything. Is there anything really out right now besides stuff that's been out for a while? So, what's our next big movie?
Haunting in Venice came out.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to say that.
I really don't know.
It's going to have to be like these next 3 months, 3-4 months. It's going to have to be a really big movie for me to go see it because, like, my weekends are now football. Like,
Yeah.
until the Super Bowl, like that's my weekend.
The Expendables comes out Friday. Expendables 4.
Yeah, see that's not. I haven't even seen number 3. I've seen number 1 and 2, but I never saw 3. I think I've seen bits of it.
The next movie I'm going to go see is The Creator.
That's Netflix, though.
Is that Netflix?
No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of. We discussed it. It's the 2-parter. That's
Rebel
coming
Moon.
out. Rebel Moon. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
Creator, I did think I might have to do that like on a Friday night when some of like the lesser colleges are playing or something like that.
Well, I did see. So Rebel Moon's not going to be in theaters. I know that Netflix was associated with it, but I wasn't sure.
I'm not sure if they're doing a theatrical release for
to me, that seems like a big enough production. It really needs to be in theaters.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I haven't looked that one up, but
no. I know it's going to win the October 13th weekend.
It comes out October 13th.
Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour movie.
Oh man.
The Swifties are going to get that.
You mean Kelsey's new fling?
Yeah.
So
good for him.
I wonder if DeAndre Swift will be involved in that, but
he's busy. Yeah, he's running some yards right now. So.
Yeah.
He's doing
so good. Rebel Moon will have a quote unquote limited theatrical release.
It does seem like it's something that should be in theaters for sure.
Basically, you're going to have to live in a major metro area probably to be able to sit in a theater. Is what I.
Yeah, I think like what's the one we were discussing the Hispanic, the Hispanic whatever the one we were talking about with
the Satanic Hispanics.
Satanic Hispanic. Like the closest theater that was playing that for me was up in like Maryland.
For me, it's playing one like 45 minutes away, but
it's about an hour from me.
I'm not going to travel that far for a movie. I'm just
not that one. I mean, I'll just see it when it hits streaming.
So I'm definitely interested in Creator for sure, though.
October 27th is Five Nights at Freddy's, which is going to get some traction.
I never understood what that's about. I never bothered to learn about Freddy thing.
It's basically a pizza joint that's haunted, like pizza place like Showbiz Pizza, or that has the animatronics,
right,
that kill people. So
Chuck E. Cheese,
Chuck E. Cheese, yeah. But other than that, I'm in November. The Marvels is going to tank. Nobody's excited about it.
Yeah, I have no desire. I still never finished Miss Marvel. I don't really plan to. I'm kind of over Marvel right now.
I'm not sure how Hunger Games prequel's going to do.
You know what? I was kind of pumped with that, and then Rachel Ziegler ruined it.
Yep.
She has ruined anything she'll ever be in for me with her obnoxiousness. Like
well, the first time I saw her act like that, I thought, okay, well that's part of that's youth. Now I'm thinking that's just her. That's just who this person is.
Yeah. Before the whole Little Mermaid thing, I never had one thought about her.
No.
I was kind of hyped for the latest Hunger Games thing.
Yeah.
And then she just wouldn't shut up. She just seems like a nasty person. Like I don't like her.
And some of those interviews that came out a couple months ago are from last year.
Yeah.
Because people were confused why she was doing all these interviews after the strike had already started, but they were actually pre-strike. I'm not a fan of her just based on the interviews I've seen, but I don't think it's a lack of awareness. I think that's just, I think she doesn't care if she bothers people. I will say this real quick: the Marvels. There's a lot of YouTube channels that will benefit greatly from the Marvels.
Yes, it'll definitely help the people in our sphere as we make shows about how bad it is.
It's cannon fodder, you mean? So.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's an easy target.
I'm willing to bet that Trolls beats Hunger Games that weekend. The third Trolls movie's come out, and Trolls is popular.
It is. I watched the first one. I don't know if I ever watched the second one. I don't know. I'm a fan of singing and stuff like that, music. So
I don't think Napoleon's going to do as well as they hope. It's too long.
Yeah. The one thing I don't like about Trolls is I did see some of it with a relative of mine, just on on TV, and it's targeted to kids, but I think it has some there's some stuff in it that kids shouldn't be seeing. Some of the humor is a little too adult for the age group that they target.
Yeah.
And I'm not a prude or anything. I just, if a 6-year-old's watching something, it shouldn't have, stuff that's that suggestive.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a surprising lot of that in a lot of kids stuff, though. Kid shows.
Yeah.
Like, I've watched some stuff in SpongeBob, and they do. Like, I had to do a double take. Like, what did they just say? Like, they do some entendre, double entendres in these shows that they sneak in there. They sneak in quite a bit. But okay, all right. Anything else you guys are looking forward to watching before we go to our little list? We got a couple lists here.
Well, obviously, the good stuff. I mean, even the rest of November doesn't look. I mean, there's, like I said, that Napoleon's going to, it's.
I am interested in watching that. I know it's going to be long, but I'm still. Joaquin Phoenix is awesome.
I know. I'll watch it, but I'll wait until it comes on streaming to watch it. It's not I got to go to the movie to see this.
I just don't know if there's anything else I want to see because Dune was going to be the big thing.
Yeah, that got
pushed back. So it's like
Godzilla -1.
I mean,
good trailer.
I'm not going to go to the theaters.
I'm going to be there first show Thursday night. I'm there. The Shift is something I'm going to go see. That's the same weekend as Godzilla -1. That's the sci-fi put out by the same people that put out Sound of Freedom.
Oh, okay. Is that one about Shift? Is that about aliens abducting space?
No,
aliens abducting.
It's not. They're not aliens. They're like supernatural beings. And I
was taking a pure shot in the dark. I have no idea what it is.
It's got Neil McDonough in it, Sean Astin, some other people I don't know.
Sam?
Basically, huh?
Sam?
Yep.
Samwise Gamgee? All right, cool.
Basically, they've got, I forgot what his name is in the movie, but he takes people out of time and out of their timeline to interact in other timelines and do stuff for his purposes, whatever it is. And this guy, all he wants to do is go back to his wife.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So he's basically going to rebel against this character and try and, go back to his own timeline.
So based on your list, do you think any of these movies that's coming out this year, what's left of this year, do you think any of them are worthy of getting $1 billion in the box office?
Oh,
no. They even have a chance.
Wonka might.
Wonka? Okay.
Wonka might.
That trailer was rough, in my opinion.
It was rough. But
I was drinking when I watched it, so I kind of enjoyed it a little bit too much, maybe more than I would have. But,
there is one other thing I meant to mention about Ahsoka that I just thought of, just as a total non sequitur. They had like those big Loth wolves, but they were not on Lothal. So I was really tired last night when I watched it. So I never really looked into how that worked, if they were native to there, or if they brought them in, or what. But
those weren't Lothal wolves. So those were howlers. Those different species.
They happen to be both large wolves. Okay.
Yeah. Big dog-like creature. Yeah.
With Filoni, I guess I shouldn't have.
On Lothal, they actually looked a lot more like wolves.
Yeah. I guess with Filoni, I shouldn't have expected anything else.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything until March. That's gonna.
March? Okay, what do we got in March that is the $1 billion?
Dune Part 2 might do it.
Okay.
The Ghostbusters sequel might do it.
Which I think is still untitled.
It'll get close. No, it's Ghostbusters Firehouse.
No, by sequel, is this the one with the kids?
It's a sequel to Aftermath.
Okay, I don't think I watched that.
Okay. It's really
is that the one with the kids, or is that different?
Yes, the one with the kid. It's one with the kid from Stranger Things, but it's really good, and it does have the.
I have heard it's good. I just never got around to watching it, so I might have to look into
I didn't expect Barbie or Super Mario Brothers to hit $1 billion.
Oh, I expected Super Mario Brothers to hit $1 billion.
Yeah,
that is pretty crazy. And then Oppenheimer almost reaching $1 billion.
That surprised me more than the other two.
Yeah, it definitely got carried with the whole Barbie thing, though. I think whoever came up with that was like, we should release this with Barbie. Like,
well,
that guy needs to be promoted.
Now there is some movies that I'm going to throw money at. I don't know if it'll make $1 billion or not because you know I'm going to go see Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire a couple of times at least.
I mean, yeah. John going to see monster movies. Yeah, that's surprise there.
Yeah, I don't think the next $1 billion movie, to be honest, is not going to be until May 3rd with Deadpool 3. I think Deadpool's going to be the next $1 billion.
Man.
Yeah. And Marvel is banking on that movie.
Yeah, that's the only thing that can save Marvel at this point.
Yep.
And this is the one that it is rated R, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, man, we need more of that. We need more adult themed shows. That's why I need The Boys to come back.
Yeah.
In the latest season of that. Like I just want more adult themed stuff. Tired of this. It's Disney. It's Disney. I'm tired of Disney.
Yeah. Well, July, Despicable Me 4 probably will do $1 billion or get close to it.
Yeah,
that's definitely a popular one. Definitely for sure.
There's the Lion King movie, the Mustafa. I don't know.
Oh, the prequel. Yeah, the prequel. I don't know.
There's eventually going to be a pretty big gap there where there's not a lot. I mean, we've already seen some of that, but it's going to
get pushed back because of the strike, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So,
This is
So I guess my next question is just, again, some of the stuff I'm doing off the fly. My next question would be, if we have a large chunk of space that there's not going to be anything there, what, if anything, do you think they would show in theaters? There's obviously going to be some movies. There's always going to be something. But if they had to go back and like replay, this is the theme for, let's redo during the month of May, let's replay the Star Wars movies in theater kind of deal.
Right.
What do you think they could do to get some supplement showings?
I don't think it'll be as bad as it was with COVID. We're seeing the old stuff, but I think we'll see some stuff for some. You'll see Super Mario Brothers again. You'll see Barbie again. I'm sure they'll put them out and in short runs to help make money.
Mm-hmm.
Or you may see if there's anything that's exclusive to streaming services like Rebel Moon, you may see that get more of a push to theaters.
Yes. Yeah.
Just to kind of fill in the gaps.
What do you think about any older classic stuff? You think they would go back a bit and show some of the Gone with the Wind or something?
Oh, I don't think they'll go back that far. No, because that's problematic. That's problematic. Like
go back to the kid with Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah. Exactly.
By the way, I want to. There was some trivia I heard the other day. I want to say like the kid in that is Uncle Fester.
I think so. Yeah.
In the Addams Family TV show, there's some kind of really like 40 or 50 year connection there between an actor. Jackie Coogan, I think was his name. Let's see. But it just shows you how, as we think Hollywood is so like old, but it's really not that old in the grand scheme of things.
All right. So let's go on to these lists. We got we've done an hour. Yay! I think we're doing pretty good so far. All right. So let's go. I have a couple lists here. The first one we're gonna do is just and this might lead to something else, but we're gonna start with this, and it's basically the top 50 board games. And these are now. John was getting a little ahead of himself, and he was thinking I was referring to just like real RPG based stories, and not quite what I was thinking, but
it's in the category of the board game enthusiast.
True,
you get the more advanced games like
definitely advanced, way over my head for sure. So these are just the family night video games, and if you guys got any, you'll probably see it on this list. But I'm just going to kind of poke through it and see what's on the list, and see what the game of life. I don't think I ever got into the game of life.
That was never something I was big in myself.
Yeah, just not one on my list. Now Clue, And we got this about a year or two ago. I was playing with my nieces and nephews, and I got it, and it was like, let's do some Clue, and I just remembered how horrible I am at it.
Yeah, I've got Clue, I've got Cluedo, the British version, and I've got Dungeons and Dragons Clue.
What's the difference between the Clue and the British version?
It's called Cluedo, and some of the names are different, but it's basically the same thing. It's just I've got the British version.
Got killed with the crumpet in the.
Well, I mean, it's they do. You don't have the gun in the British version, if I remember right.
Well, you got a musket.
No, they don't, because they don't. There's not a lot of guns in Britain.
The whistle.
There's no pistol to kill somebody with.
Oh, okay, all right.
So
what about what
right.
was the third one? You said
Dungeons and Dragons Clue.
Dragons. What do they got? Swords and shields.
Yeah, it's all magic stuff. Yeah,
wands and crystal balls and
yeah,
blown to smithereens in the dungeon by Princess whoever. All right, Candyland. Oh man, all right, Candyland.
I never played that much when I was a kid. I didn't have that as a kid.
Played it a little bit. It was definitely like shoots. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's like shoots and ladders in some kind of way.
Yeah, a little bit.
But yeah, wasn't a. You'd see it in the game room, but not really.
I've played it more as an adult with my niece than I've played it.
Yeah,
played it as a kid. So.
Now Monopoly, that's the destroyer of families, or. A great way to never do anything else for 4 hours. And
Monopoly will get family members mad at each other.
Right.
Monopoly could possibly destroy friendships. The game that will actually ruin family dynamics.
Listen, you got to be
diplomacy.
Who you make the banker, all right? Some of them bankers, little sneaky sneaks, all right?
Yeah, little sleight of hand. And suddenly they got a couple of 500s they didn't have before.
And is there anybody that doesn't play with free parking getting all the money? Because that's actually a rule. Like, you're not supposed to get money from free parking. Like,
that's like the house.
No one does it.
Pretty much every.
I don't think anybody plays that way. Yeah, I think everyone does the free parking gets money.
Well, the free parking is where you put all the fines and stuff.
Yeah, but you're not actually supposed to collect it when you get on free parking. Like, there's in the rule book, there is no actual way to get the money.
I know,
out of the center.
but that's like the universal house rule.
Yeah, that's just kind of what I'm saying. Is like it's just universally accepted that someone's going to win that jackpot. And it would change the course of the game. It's great. However, Boardwalk is still one of the worst investments ever.
Yeah, you want railroads.
Yeah, railroads. And I like the greens myself as well.
Yeah, those are good. Utility companies are a good investment.
But and then like once all the property is brought up, the whole thing is like that's when you want to be in jail.
Yeah, you don't want to go out there because you don't want to hit rent.
Right. Yeah. So
I'll stay here.
And
you don't want to pay the fine to get out. Yeah.
No.
We tried a couple different variations of it. Like we did the Mandalorian version of it. And it had like it was pretty cool. It had like the different spaceports, Mos Eisley and stuff like that.
I've got the Star Wars Saga edition.
Mm-hmm. And so that's pretty cool. This one was more like the junior version. So it was very small, like half the size of the regular board. So very small. And then we tried out the Jurassic Park version. And really the only difference from that was that it had you had a little display the gate to Jurassic Park, and you would turn it on, and every once in a while it would start to roar, and there was a T-Rex on the board that would move every time it roared or whatever like that, something like that. And if it landed on a place with housing, it could actually destroy the housing.
Cool.
So it was just kind of something extra in the game. It's like you didn't really need to buy the Jurassic Park version to get it. You could have just gotten a T-Rex with a random timer that made it go. And so it was kind of interesting with that way. I also got the whatchamacallit. I haven't played it yet, so I haven't really checked it out too much. But I got it at one of these days when I was going out and what do you call them? Garage sales. And it was
Yeah.
like an almost brand new set of Game of Thrones Monopoly. And it just looked really cool. Had all the parts in it. It was like brand new box, never opened.
There was one I wanted to get. I'm trying to remember which one it is.
A version of Monopoly or just a board game in general?
Yeah, no, version of Monopoly.
Gotcha.
There's only like 1,000.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Every single time you go to Walmart, you'll see a different version of it.
I think there's a Yellowstone version for like the TV show Yellowstone.
They had the one with like the millionaires, and then you had like the credit card, and you would slip the credit card into the thing, and
they've got like the Millennium Edition.
Yeah, so where no one could buy houses.
Edition.
So
I have the Millennium Edition from like 2000.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
is that the one that gave it like the gold piece or something like that, and like that was really it?
Yeah, and it had dice that were like oblong shaped and orange.
Oh wow.
There was like one of the tokens or characters or whatever that you can pick from is like a computer monitor. Another one's a cell phone. So it introduced some things that were cutting edge, for the time.
Yeah. I kind of want to get this luxury edition. It's got like the leather wrapped game board, and it's got the drawers underneath for keeping all the money and the tokens and stuff in.
Now, if there were a millennial edition, property, like if you couldn't, it would just be
trailers, like just trailers and
right
mini houses and apartments, like just like an apartment room or something like that. All right, Scrabble. I didn't really get into Scrabble. I never had people to play with Scrabble. I don't know if I'd even be good at it. That's the word.
I played it some, but I mean, it wasn't.
No, Battleship. Now that is the best 2-on-2 game you could play, or 1-on-1. Definitely played a lot of that, and it definitely frustrating when you get someone, you're all over the place, and then you have that stupid friend or brother that would not put all the pieces on there, all the ships. Yeah. And then you just hit it's like, dude, I've hit every single spot on this board. Where's the other piece?
Board is red. Yeah.
That was always good. Now this is by far my favorite one on the list. This will always be my favorite board game.
When I first went to college, because my first year at college, I went to Southwest Baptist University right out of high school. Because I got a church scholarship. I got like half my tuition paid for. So I'm like, okay, yeah. Between the church and the provost was married to my uncle's ex-girlfriend, and they were still friends. So I basically got in. I didn't have to. I just kind of like walked in the front door essentially. Right. So that's why I went for my first year there. But I was the reigning champion of Risk at the university. So I've played a lot of Risk over my time frame. So
I first played it when my dad brought it home I believe it's when he came back from Okinawa. He's in the Marine Corps, and he came back home with his big rucksack and everything, and he pulls it out, and we've actually had that Risk. It's still at my parents' house to this day. It's tattered and in pieces, and a lot of pieces have fell onto the floor and probably got vacuumed up over the years.
Yeah,
but we still have it somewhere with the original. It was the Risk with the capital Risk on the bottom.
Oh, with the Castle Risk?
Yeah, the Castle Risk.
Yeah.
And so it had both pieces. It had the car. I never got into the Castle Risk, but the Risk was me and my brothers, we would stay up very late on the weekend and play that. It was definitely one of those ones where, and I probably one of my most memorable ones is when I was having a lot of trouble, because every once in a while you'll get in those bits where you're like the attacking army and you just constantly lose against a defender that has a small army. You're just on a bad rolls, and I was like, "Damn these dice to hell!" and threw them, and I got 3 6s, and we were like, "What the? Oh my god!" So that was pretty cool. But this will always definitely be my favorite. We've played it with my niece and nephews some too.
Yeah. Well, I've got the Lord of the Rings version, and I've got the Star Wars version.
Okay.
But I've also got besides the regular, I've got the regular generic one with the star shaped pieces.
That's basically what they had the triangle pieces for the individual, and then the star for the
ours for the 5
or 10. I think it was 10s.
Was it 10s?
Or was it 5s?
Okay.
I can't remember.
But I've also got the original with the wood pieces.
Oh wow, I haven't seen that. That's pretty cool.
From the 60s, or I think it's 60s, but it's not sealed. The box isn't in perfect condition, but it's put away with my older stuff. Like I've got an older version of Monopoly and my British version of my British version of Cluedo.
Okay.
So I've got them put away in tubs so they're safe.
Yeah.
But so they're actually under my bed. But yeah, I have a few versions of Risk that, and I
don't think I've ever played any other version besides just the regular version and whatever else at the time. So definitely would like to see other versions of that. Stratego. Now, this game, I only played it one time in my life. I used to go to a buddy's house years, decade ago, and every Tuesday we would do Rock Band. He had a projector. He had the drums, 2 guitars, and then the mic, and we would have people over. You would have people over, and we would play Rock Band for a couple hours. And then the Wednesday, he would do just kind of like a board game night. So really cool dude. And one time when it was just the 2 of us, he brought out Stratego. I'd never played Stratego before, and so that it was an interesting game. I am thinking of the right one, right? You have either side.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of put your guys where you want to, and you kind of have to, depending on what they have and what you have, you kind of go forward and try to knock them out. And certain ones
you could run into bombs and
right. Yeah. Okay. So I am thinking I wanted to make sure that, but I wasn't very good at it. But there was definitely one great match that I had that completely confounded them. I had I don't know what you call him, the king. Right at the front lines.
Your general, yeah.
My general. I had him right at the front lines in the top right behind the terrain, but right there at the front. And he went through from the left side all the way down, did a big horseshoe, and just where is this guy? Because normally with that, you put him near the back, right? You would keep to keep him safe. You would do that, and so that was probably my best. Game was confounding, and before he could find it, I got his guy because he had no idea where my general was, and he was right there at the front.
I usually put mine center right or center left because nobody expects him to be. Everybody expects him to be in the back row or on the side or on the back corner, but nobody expects it just to be amongst the general troops.
Yeah, and he was getting frustrated because he was like. He said, "I like playing you because I never know what you're going to do," and that's something I've always that's how I want to be. Is you don't know where I'm going to pivot or know what I'm going to do or say, and that's how I like to improvise and just kind of I don't want to be predictable in that way.
Yeah,
So when I play Joe and Madden, I'll let the coach decide what play I pick, and then I'll just play that. So he never really knows. He knows my tendencies, but he doesn't know. I don't have I generally don't have a favorite play. There's some plays that I really like to run, but for the most part, I'll just let computer decide what I run, and then I'll just do what I do on that play. So that's my mindset when it comes to these kind of games. No, that's a pretty good one. I've always wanted to get into this, but it's $80 online, and I'm like,
that is no. You can get this. You can get the 1940. 41 or 42 that's only $30.
Is it? Okay, I'll have to look back into it because last time I looked, because I did want to, because my dad was like, I don't want to play these board games, but if you ever get this game, I'll play.
Okay. There's this is my favorite game. This is hands down my favorite game. I will drive 100 miles to go play this game.
Okay.
I mean, if there's an Axis and Allies tournament anywhere in driving distance, I'm there.
Okay. All right.
But there's different versions. There's different levels of, you've got like the basic one that's, like I said, the 1942. You can get the one, the Europe and Pacific, and then put the boards together, play the whole world. So you've got this big, huge setup. They've got the anniversary edition, which adds like some different countries. You got like Italy and China and stuff. So you've got some different countries that you can have more players on. And then they've got the Global War edition, which you buy this huge 7-foot map.
Wow.
It's this monster map that you can play on. And there's people that like, they buy like they'll have a custom map made, or they'll make a custom map on like their game table as like their base layer on their game table. And they'll instead of having the plastic figures, they'll go get and paint like the 1/285th ships from like GHQ or something, and have they'll have like their hand painted figures and stuff. The Axis and Allies guys are some of them get really into it.
Very dedicated to their craft as far as
But I mean, there's variations like they just reprinted it. I haven't got it. I'm going to pick it up probably November is next time I'll have some free cash. Probably November or maybe December. But at some point I'm going to pick it up. But they got like the 1914 World War I version. There's variations like that. They've come out with like Battle of the Bulge. They've got Guadalcanal.
Wow.
They've got Axis and Allies and Zombies. So they have some variants, but yeah, that's Axis and Allies is easily my favorite game. And I play as Japan, and I can hold the Axis together with Japan just by myself. Germany can go away, and I can hold off the Allies with Japan.
Well, listen, if I learned anything from Risk, it's always to start with Australia. Okay.
Yeah, well, not so much in this game.
Nobody could attack Australia except for one area.
The only thing I know about Risk is that Kramer played it on Seinfeld. That's my knowledge of it.
Now this I noticed that excuse me, at the bottom it mentions the Man in the High Castle. Now I'm a huge fan of alternate history.
Yeah.
And yeah, this definitely plays into that. So I definitely think
the Axis can take over the world. I've actually taken out America with Japan.
It's definitely interesting to see. That's one of those shows that I really like seeing. You actually see Hitler as an old man, and another show that I've watched was what is it called? Is it Fatherland or Motherland?
Yeah, Motherland.
It's if witches were real.
Yeah. Oh, that's Fort Salem, isn't it?
Is it okay? Yeah, I could be off on that.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool. Like if witches were real, and then they just joined the military.
Yeah, that's
and that's how the world progressed. Like,
yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
Now, this game originally came out in the 80s as part of the Milton Bradley Game Master series, which I have all of because I'm a huge. I played it in the 80s. It came out like 85, I think, and the original one, and it's. Like I said, I've been playing it forever. So, but the Game Master series had Conquest of the Empire, which is Roman Empire era. They've got Fortress America, which is like Axis and Allies, but it's set in the future. So you've got all these forces trying to take out America. You've got Broadsides and Boarding Parties, which is a pirate themed one. That one wasn't as popular. What else is there? There's one more. Oh, there's Shogun, which they had to change the name to Samurai Swords because of the Shogun, but that's set in feudal Japan. And that's probably my second favorite of the Game Master series.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, so I'm glad to see this on there because this is a dense game.
Yeah, it's a massive game. Yeah,
this isn't your little let's play for a few hours. This is we're going to play this all day.
This is campaign right here.
This is
bring your Mountain Dew.
People that have the more extensive Axis and Allies gamers. No, we said Shogun.
Shogun.
Next time I play, I've got a shirt from my favorite streamer, Gopher, that I bought. That it's one of his characters says it. His Fallout character says it's got his picture of his Fallout character, but it says, "I don't need a personality. I have a shotgun." I'm going to wear that for the next Starfield stream I do, just for Martine.
Okay.
But right. No, to go back to this, the people that play this, extensively, that play, they'll set up the game, they'll play for 6, 7, 8 hours, and then they'll leave the game in their game tables because they have like the big recess game tables, and then they'll play the next weekend and the weekend after that. So.
Yeah, it definitely seems something you would have to spread it over and come back to. I think the only time I've done that was with Monopoly when we had to give up for the night, and we would write down what everyone had and what property they had and what houses they had, all that stuff, and then come back to it another time. So yeah, we've had to do that a few times to come.
I've done that with Axis and Allies where we list every territory who has what in reserves. And then we come back, a week later or 2 weeks later to pick it up.
All right. So let's see. Oh, chess. Okay. I mean,
what can we say about chess? I mean, it's been around forever.
I'm not very good at it. I did once beat a buddy of mine in 3 moves. I don't know how I did it still, but I did. Yeah, I did. I was very, very surprised. He left his king unprotected really quickly. So. But
there's a 3
It wasn't
move.
intentional. I promise you.
There's a 3 move. You move your. I forgot. I'd have to look at the board set up to actually see it. But you basically move out a pawn, then you pull your knight out, and you slide your bishop over, and then you basically have your knight protecting the spot where the bishop is, so the king can't take him. But you use your bishop to slide in and kill one of their pawns so they can't move their king, and you put them in checkmate. Yeah,
it was something. Yeah, completely unintentional, but it was hilarious.
Yeah,
it would make sense. It would be the bishop that could get there the quickest.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Let's see. Backgammon. I think I got into this game once, but I don't remember how to play it at all.
Yeah, it's
usually it was on the back of the chessboard or the checkers board or something like that. It was just kind of like those 2-in-1 games.
I've played it a few times. The most I do with backgammon is I've got there's in my D&D, there's one of the supplements from another company, not actually from TSR, that has the chaos sort of doubling, which it does damage based on the doubling dice from backgammon. So it'll do anywhere from 2 to 64 points of damage, depending on what you roll with that dice.
Okay.
So that's the most I've dealt with.
Yeah, I haven't done a whole lot with that. Of course, checkers, pretty much same as chess. You had both either checkers or chess play on the same board, pretty much. So, Chinese checkers. I don't know if
I played that as a kid.
That's with the marbles. Right?
Yeah, that's the sixth.
I think I got into it at some point, but then I don't remember how to play it now. So.
Yeah, that was Yeah,
2 to 6 people.
Yeah. So I mean, that's something you get the family to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I haven't heard of Blocus.
Blocus is a fairly new one.
Yep,
I think it came out in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Huh.
Yeah, click on the Amazon. You can see what it looks like if you open a new tab.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I never played it, but I recognize it.
Yeah. And it might be Blockus.
Yeah,
Blockus.
Blocks.
You don't like Blocus? Okay, whatever.
I've never heard of it.
There we go. I've definitely seen it. I worked at Walmart, so I've definitely seen it plenty of times.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to look this one up too because I don't know.
That is a
Agricola.
That's another Agricola. Yeah. that's another enthusiast game that's made the jump over to more family.
Weird. Looks like you built stuff.
Yeah, it's a resource gathering building game.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
It almost looked
Fair
kind of
enough.
medieval too.
Yeah.
It is.
17th century Europe. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Okay, so it's Animal Crossing, the board game.
Yeah, a little bit.
Or I guess now, what's the more better one? What do they got? Harvest something? Harvest Moon or
Yeah, Harvest Moon would be
one of those kind of games?
Yeah.
All right. Best board games for kids. I don't know if you want to go through this, but
Connect Four.
Twister,
No.
Operation. Screw that game.
Don't Break the Ice. Yeah, I played that as a kid.
Hungry. That was a lot of fun, but you lose the balls really quickly. So
Yeah.
You
Have you played live action Hungry Hippos?
No.
That sounds scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those those
Gazelles?
little the little platform that had like the 4 wheels on it you had in like grade school and gym.
Yeah.
You use those and you have like the balls in the middle and you've got a person that's laying on that and you've got somebody holding their legs and they push the person out to grab the ball and try and scoop the balls out of the middle.
No, I never heard of that before. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Okay. All right, that's good. Boggle.
Yeah,
Isn't that basically Scrabble in a way?
No, it's basically they got like dice with letters on it, and they shake up the center, and they
okay, yeah.
and they got like a timer, and you got to make as many words as you can out of all the stuff.
This was a pretty crazy one when this came out.
Oh, I always loved Mousetrap.
A lot of things going on with this. It was pretty cool, pretty inventive.
Yeah.
Jenga. Okay.
Yeah, see, that's a fairly new one. That's a newer game that came out.
You ever see those videos of the crazy players where they're like karate chopping the pieces and the rest of it's like falling on top of it? Like,
yeah,
it's so quick that it just kind of perfectly plops onto the. Oh man,
yeah. Oh, we play this with my sister's house, but they've got the giant one that it's like
the mega one,
the 5 foot. Yeah, Mastermind. That's a classic.
I don't know what this is.
Basically, it's a 2-player game. You set up your pattern. The Mastermind sets up the pattern, and then you've got to guess the pattern. And you play. You play like this. It's like you got like the multicolored pegs, and you put the pegs. The Mastermind has a set of pegs. You've got like a pattern. Then you put yours out, and then if you have any right, you put like there's little pegs you put on the side for it. Which position's right? Which one is a color, but it's in the wrong position.
Okay.
And so you have like so many times to guess the pattern. It's kind of like,
Gotcha.
What is it? The Wordle or whatever it is.
Okay. Gotcha.
But
That's
except
the
it's
phenomenon that sweeps across for like a week or two.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Except it's colored pegs.
Okay.
Quirkle, that's a fairly new one.
I'm learning about a lot of games. I don't remember this.
Yeah. Basically, you get, it's kind of like a little like Scrabble, but with instead of words, you're using patterns and colors.
Isn't it like that computer game where you got the tiles that are like all on top, like stacked up on top of each other?
No, it's not like Mahjong. It plays like Scrabble. You don't stack up. It's all like you build like the three of the same color or 3 of the same shape.
Gotcha. All right. Okay.
It's not 3, but the biggest line you can make.
This is definitely a classic, and official rules is you're not supposed to put wilds on wilds. So and you're not supposed to stack 2 plus 2s or draw 2s.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. But.
And then of course, the other one is if you have a +4 and you run out of cards to actually use, you have to use the +4. That was another one that was ignored a lot.
Yeah.
No, but that definitely a fun game.
You save those up to pick on someone.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Wait till it's reversed, and then you go out.
Yeah.
That
Reverse.
Wrong. It was the revenge game. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, Cranium. I don't think I got into this one. I don't.
Yeah, I have it. I've never played. It's one of those games that I own. It's on my. It's a family game, but it's on my my what we call our shelf of shame.
Okay.
Of games we own that we've never played. That's in the board gaming fandom. That's what they call it. Is your shelf of shame or your wall of shame, depending on how many you have.
Dominoes. Never really got much into that one.
I've played it a few times.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
mentions grabbing. Dominoes mentioned grabbing grandma. I actually played this with one of my grandfathers. Dominoes. He was all about
it.
You've got some variants like Mexican Train and stuff like that.
Chutes and Ladders, of course.
Yeah. Yep. Carcassonne, I can never say it. I have it, and I have expansions for it. I play it.
Oh, it looks like another
one. I can never say it.
Okay.
Yeah,
one of those building types.
Yeah, you basically, you put together farms and cities, and the variants add like builders and tradesmen and stuff.
I think it was like base game.
Yeah, it is. It's got like 10.
The Lord of the Rings version. Here we go.
It's got like 10 or 12 expansions.
Wow. The ends and the cathedrals. Like you couldn't just create your own little blocks.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got all those. Like I said, I've got a few expansions for it. I even got circuses. You can get a circus. There's. I don't have that one, but you can add the circus to it. But I have. It's enough that I had to buy a special insert to put together for it to hold all the pieces.
Okay.
So I spent an additional $30 on top of what I've spent on the game to build.
Pretty sure I played the app version of this.
Yeah. Rush Hour. Yeah, I've never played it, but it's basically like Traffic Jam.
Yeah, you might as well get the app on.
Yeah.
I guess this is free apps, I guess.
Trouble. I played that as a kid a lot.
Played that. Yeah.
Oh, Ticket to Ride. I love Ticket to Ride.
I don't know that one.
I play that. It's a train. You basically build you build routes. You match train cars colors to your routes. And my sister, she loves this game. We play this a lot over at her house.
Oh, okay.
But there's variants of that. There's maps you can get for like Japan and the Old West and UK and Norway and specialized. But it's a train game.
So if you did the Old West, would there be like parts where there's like it doesn't exist? So there'd be a lot of like the truck would just stop. You just have to back up and go back and stuff like that.
No, it's just you're setting up in the American Southwest. But yeah, I've got, like I said, I've got several versions of it. I've got they've got the main versions. The two big versions are the original Ticket to Ride, and there's Ticket to Ride Europe, which adds another feature to it. They've got like London, which I've got. They've got New York. They've got San Francisco. Where you're building cable cars and stuff.
So I just had a thought, John. Riddle me this: do you have any board games where you got like a Godzilla creature that's a part of it?
Oh yeah.
What do you got?
It's called King of the Monsters.
King of the Monsters. What's that about?
You basically fight kaiju amongst yourselves, and you try and take over certain sections and hold it and get points and.
What do you mean fight against it? Like as another monster or?
They're monsters. Everybody plays a monster, and you're fighting for you fight over territory and stuff.
Oh, okay. All right.
Cool.
There's King of the Monsters and King of New York, and then there's like a big version that I don't have that's on my wish list.
Oh.
That's like it's King of Tokyo, King of New York, and King of the Monsters is the big one.
Yes,
but
okay.
I have King of Tokyo with a lot of expansions, including Cthulhu.
All right. All right. I think we're gonna end it with this list for now. I know we're pretty close, but I want to get on the little list a little bit before we end. Okay. We have about 25 minutes, so I really wanted to get over to the. This is the greatest. This is now obviously this is a group of people back in 2022 that just came up with a list of the greatest actors of all time. This is not the list of greatest actors of all time. Disclaimer. So we're just going to look at it and
And they're not in any particular order. Either.
Yeah, I don't think they're in any particular. I don't even think the board games are really in any particular order. So
No,
we'll just start out with this. So Denzel Washington
definitely deserves to be on the list.
Yeah. So
Very good.
trying to think what my favorite movie of his was, and I'm thinking like Training Day. Man on Fire was definitely one of a cool one. I thought it was really cool growing up. I don't know. Well, you guys got a favorite for Denzel Washington?
Probably Training Day. Either I mean,
Although Remember the
one movie
Titans is always going to have a soft spot for Remember the Titans. It's always going to be.
Oh yeah, that's I would. That's almost my favorite of his. I'd say Book of Eli is my favorite.
Oh, that one. I gotta say, I'm not very good at picking up stuff in movies, so him being blind was like a shock to me. I get that there were signs. There's always good people like I'm sure if Jed was on here, I saw it a mile away. Like it's like so. I'm not one of those people. I missed it entirely.
But I mean,
it went right over my head.
He's got a lot of movies I like. There's besides Remember the Titans, there's Courage Under Fire.
Yeah.
There was Crimson Tide. Crimson Tide's a great movie.
What's the one where he's like an FBI, not FBI, but like a special agent in New York, and it's got like the terrorism acts going on? I think it was a 90s movie.
I don't know.
I can't remember what it was called, but that one was really good too. He stops like a terrorist threat in New York.
Yeah,
like
I can't think of what it. I mean, there's that, but I mean, and
But
even movies like Malcolm X in Philadelphia. Those are both great movies that he's done. Glory.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was a movie he did that I haven't seen yet where he was a pilot. And I think the plane went up
yeah,
and down.
that was good too. What was that? That was
I'll look it up.
Flight.
Okay, yeah.
Flight. I don't remember that one. All right.
Yeah, he was in the Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 remake. He was in the Magnificent 7 remake.
Then we got Tom Hanks. Next one on the list. I mean, I still haven't seen the whatchamacallit movie.
Mr. Rogers movie?
Yeah, Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
I don't know how good it is in that, but I mean, you got Forrest Gump, Saving Private Ryan. It's just
Apollo 13 is probably my favorite of his.
Yeah, Apollo. And then of course you got Castaway.
Yeah,
Wilson.
I never got. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't. It wasn't. I didn't.
It was definitely one of those like there's what he did. There's actors that do things to their bodies that are just mind-boggling.
Yeah,
and like another in that
Christian
case,
Bale.
That's what I was about to say. Christian Bale and his movies is just absolutely. To go from what he was in, what was the movie that I know there was the Boxer? Is the Boxer movie with Mark Wahlberg where he plays an addict? I know there were several movies he did.
Yeah. The Machinist was another one.
That's when he lost all that weight, and
then was the Machinist where he lost the weight and then gained it back for Batman?
Yeah, and then he bulked up for Batman in like just a few months. Yeah,
that's insane. It definitely can't be good for you.
And then I think he lost weight again for the Boxer or whatever the movie was.
Right, yeah. Go back and forth,
and then put it back up. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. But anyways, Tom Hanks, what about you, Matt? You got a favorite movie of Tom Hanks?
Well, I'm from Alabama, so I guess Forrest Gump. But
yeah.
I haven't watched that in a couple of years. I might have to take a gander at it again. You can never watch it too many times.
He's been around a long time, so and he has a lot of decent movies. I mean, starting back in the day, remember it was in like Bachelor Party, Big, stuff like that before he got huge, and then
did a lot of comedies.
Yeah.
I think the first one that I really learned about him was Turner and Hooch was a favorite of mine growing up. That was definitely one of the movies I watched a lot as a kid. Because the dog and having to.
And of course, there's Toy Story.
Yeah, Toy Story, which I know we mentioned it before, but they got that. I'm going to be watching that game here in a couple weeks with the Jaguars and the Falcons, where they're doing.
Oh yeah, I'm going to watch that
Andy's
just so I can
playroom.
watch the.
I'm going to watch the live cast, and I'm going to watch I'm going to see how good they line it up. I'm sure there's going to be some delay, but they're talking real time rendering, so I'm going to see how well it does. And it's going to be. I hope it's going to be fun to watch. I'm all for it. I don't know how. I'm sure there's people out there that say you're pandering the kids, try to get them to football early, but
I don't care. I don't care. I want to watch freaking Toy Story football game.
Yeah, I'm all for it. So, all right, Marilyn Monroe. Now, I don't watch older movies, so I don't really know outside of her being, beautiful, how good she actually acts.
She used to be a good actress.
I mean, she won 0 Oscars, so I mean,
no, she didn't win.
Obviously, not that great, but
Tom Cruise has won 0 Oscars.
Yeah, Tom Cruise. That doesn't make a difference if you win an Oscar. That's like Dan Marino is still considered one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He never won a Super Bowl.
Right. Oh man.
Chris Rock has he's had some events at the Oscars, but I don't think he's ever won one.
All right, Robert De Niro. Oh man.
De Niro had some great movies, but he's kind of like gone crazy over the years. So over especially the last 5 years, 6 years, he's kind of been outspoken.
He and Jimmy Stewart are probably the 2 actors that have been in the most critically acclaimed movies. Yeah. At least they're up there in that list. Whether they were the lead or supporting, but yeah, I mean, I think he's a great actor. But yeah,
he's a good actor.
He's loony.
I definitely enjoyed the God. Now, I didn't actually watch the Godfather trilogy until later in my years, when I was thinking my late teens. So I mean, I didn't watch it as a kid. I watched it more as an adult. But yeah, I definitely think it was one of his best ones. I think The Irishman, was one I've seen too. That was really good.
Taxi Driver's the one I like the most.
I don't remember much about that one. I don't know
Travis Bickle.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to me? You're talking to me.
No. All right. So Betty Davis.
Yeah. Classic
I don't know much
actress.
about her. Don't know much about her.
She's one of those basically Hollywood royalty.
Yeah, I have been, kind of wanting to go back and experience more of older television. I guess as I get older, I guess I want to go back to where there's more, at least mainstream modern messaging. I'm sure there's, messaging in shows back then too, but I guess, I don't know. I want to see just something different than what we get now.
Oh, I have a lot of classic movies. I watch a lot of old. My collection goes all the way back to, I think my oldest is 1927, I think. It's the oldest movie in my collection. I might actually, I take that back. I think I have a couple of silent movies that are older than that, like in the teens.
Yeah, because I think 27 is when sound first came on the scene, at least in any kind of real way.
All right, what do we think about Natalie Portman? I don't know if I ever really thought of her as like a really
I don't know if I'd put her on this list, but
yeah, I did enjoy V for Vendetta, but
yeah, V for Vendetta.
I never watched Black Swan, and I didn't watch Jackie. Obviously, watched Star Wars, but
Annihilation. She was okay in that. I haven't seen Von Lux.
No,
I mean, I think she's a good actress.
I don't know if she's top 50 though.
Probably not top 50 now.
No.
Not if you're looking at the grand scheme of things. If you're going back to like Betty Davis and people like that,
Yeah.
Gene Hackman. Okay.
Definitely deserves to be on this list.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I recently saw The French Connection the other day. I actually watched French Connection and French Connection 2, which they are different movies.
Yes, they are.
And I really admire it. The French Connection 2 had a different director. And he went a totally different direction with that character, even though it had, the same vibe in some ways. It was a totally different story. But I mean, Gene Hackman as that character, the Popeye Doyle, is just it's incredible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen the French Connection.
Oh, you need to see it.
Yeah.
You need to see it. It's a 70s movie. It's got 70s ideals. So there's some words and attitudes that are inappropriate. Not inappropriate, but problematic.
And
in
Disney has
today's-
removed the most problematic one.
Yeah.
I think what I'll need to do, and I'll pitch this idea to Joe, is maybe I need to like make a list. I'll do some research and I'll look up like top 100 lists or something, several of them, of movies that you have to watch before you die kind of deal.
Yeah.
And then I'll present that to the
That'd be a
group.
good that'd be a
And
good
then
show.
we discuss, hey, which of these movies should I like prioritize? Which should I watch at some point, kind of deal. And then it'll give me like a nice list of older movies to kind of like dig into.
Yeah.
And go back and really see.
Watching Gene Hackman as Popeye Doyle, it's like watching Robert Duvall in Lonesome Dove. Or excuse me, watching Gene Hackman as Popeye Doyle is like watching Robert Duvall's character in Lonesome Dove in terms of like he is that character.
Yeah.
It's not you don't feel like it's acting.
And Gene Hackman is one of those actors that could do heavy roles with gravitas and turn around and do a comedy.
Yep. Or do a movie like Hoosiers that's somewhere between. Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course he's Lex Luthor, so.
Oh man, okay. Well, this is obviously one that I grew up with.
Heath Ledger, yeah.
And that's Heath Ledger, and A Knight's Tale.
I love A Knight's Tale.
Is one of my favorite movies of all time. Everything about it. It's got comedy. It's got serious tones at time. It's got a great story.
That's the movie that introduced me to Paul Bettany.
Yeah, Paul Bettany, and it's just every character that they have in that movie is perfect casting in my opinion. For me, anyways. Like I said, a little biased because it's my favorite.
Yeah.
But
we lost him too early though, because just think
for real, especially at the height of his acting, because The Dark Knight is definitely another one of my favorite movies of all time. And there were times where I would go back in the movie and just go to his scenes, and that was it.
Yeah.
Like it was so good that's all I wanted to see. I just wanted to see more of him, and that's it.
Do I look like a man with a plan?
I don't know how I got these scars. Like that was, and he had the fact he had a different story every time. Just it cracked me up. I loved it.
It's all about sending a message.
Well, the Joker's all about deception, right?
Yeah, I have a plan, like a dog with a car. I want to know what to do with it if I caught up with it. It's so good. So, Katharine Hepburn.
Oh yeah, she is another one of those classic superstars from back in the day. That now she's won what, 4 Oscars, 5 Oscars, 4. Okay, 4.
Yep, 4.
Lion and Winter on Golden Pond. Those are good movies. African Queen. Oh, you need to watch The African Queen if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I have not seen that. Yep.
Okay, I know Joe wanted to. Maybe that's the other thing, because I know Joe wanted to go back and watch some of these older movies.
Yeah.
So we might have to do some. What is it called? The Science Theater 3000. Some of this stuff.
Yeah. I watched an older movie today that I'd never seen before, The Howling. From, early 80s.
Yeah,
it's a,
classic werewolf movie. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It was. I would say it was okay. It was not. It didn't change my life. Yeah.
Oh man,
Tom Cruise. The only true movie star left in the world right now.
I'm trying to think. I definitely enjoyed Edge of Tomorrow. The going back in time. Every time.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of my favorite. I like Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
Show me the money.
Tropic Thunder. Yeah.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, I mean that was just good in general.
One of his early movies, if you haven't seen it, you need to watch. It's called Taps.
Is that the one where he's in the bar?
Like first or second movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that when he's a bartender?
No, that's Cocktail.
Okay.
Taps is when he's in a military school.
Oh, okay.
And they're gonna bounce out the commandant, and him and the students get together and hold off, basically stage a coup, and to prevent them from coming after their commandant. It's a good movie.
Then of course you have The Outsiders that has a lot of actors that went on to be more famous afterwards. And Tom Cruise had an uncredited cameo in Young Guns.
Yeah.
Where he's on screen, I think, for maybe 2 seconds.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you got a favorite? You guys got a favorite movie of his? I think mine would probably be Edge of Tomorrow, but I'd have to look at the whole list.
Edge of Tomorrow's good. Obviously,
A Few Good Men has the great lines.
Top Gun.
Yeah, I'm sure Top Gun is top of the list. I didn't get it until late.
Risky Business.
Yeah,
I saw that one. Okay, Martin, we're on a delay here, buddy. Help me out.
Yeah.
I'm festive, but which one are you talking about there, Martin?
I like All the Right Moves for a particular scene. Anyway.
Yeah.
That and my favorite Tom Cruise movie though is The Color of Money.
Okay,
that's a good choice with Paul Newman.
Yep. We got Ariel in here. Knox in charge here. Is that why Jed is in here? Jed is in here because I don't really have a way to contact him, and was afraid Knox would put him in his place. That would be a Fury convention. Okay,
Furry, yeah.
Furry, yeah. Yep. No, basically the only people I have really in contact through Twitter and everything and phone is these two guys. So that's basically why. So that's okay. We got Oblivion is my favorite.
Oblivion's good. I liked Oblivion.
I remember Oblivion. Okay, he's referring to Tap before. Okay, gotcha.
Okay,
all right. Yeah, Leonardo. I had someone say Leonardo DiCaprio, and I could never say it again.
Yeah.
Name after that.
I
like him.
I'm not a big Leo fan.
I'm a pretty The Wolf of Wall Street is one of the funniest movies. I'm not going anywhere. I'm back. I'm staying. That one. I never did watch The Revenant. I think that's the one where he's like alone, right?
Yeah, it's where bear rape.
That's one of those where, like, I've seen it once, but that's the only time I'll ever watch it.
Yeah, I always meant to watch it, but I just never did.
And The Revenant was sort of a career achievement award in a way.
Last Samurai, I did watch that when I was younger.
Yeah, I love The Last Samurai.
Tom Cruise.
Which The Last Samurai was better than it should have been.
Yeah.
Because it could have been terrible. It could have been like, what was the Matt Damon Great Wall movie?
The Great Wall.
Yeah,
I've never seen though.
I've watched it. It's not like super horrible, but it's not very good either.
Right. I've just always assumed it was bad. Yeah.
Oh, what is that?
You gotta at least watch it once.
Where he goes to that's where he goes to the island. Leonardo.
Shutter Island.
Shutter Island. That's right. I do remember watching that one. That one was interesting.
Once upon a time in Hollywood, I like it just because of the music and the fact that Tarantino loves that era so much.
Oh yeah,
made me like the movie, in a way.
Bear Grylls.
I don't think I could really pick a favorite DiCaprio movie.
I did really enjoy The Departed. I will always be a fan of Sudden Deaths. And was it Matt Damon's character that gets shot in the head in the elevator? Which one of them?
It's I think it's Leo.
Is it Leo? One of them too? Yeah. There's just all of a sudden, the door opens. You think the movie's over, and he just gets shot in the head. That's funny.
Rarely do you see the main protagonist have a sudden death like that.
Yeah. So that was pretty good.
Yep.
And of course, Titanic is always good, based on a true story. So. Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, she's done a lot of stuff that was critically acclaimed, and she can change her appearance a lot. She's like a chameleon.
Wow. The White Witch. I guess that's the biggest one I probably know from is the Chronicles of Narnia.
I couldn't think of it, but to quickly go back to DiCaprio. Django Unchained is probably my favorite role of his.
Okay, yeah, he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The thing that impressed me is he cut his hand breaking that glass, and he didn't break character. He just rolled with it. I'm like,
I think it made him angry or something like that. It made it more in the role.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, that's respect. That's
Mort.
yeah.
Morte. The Archangel Gabriel. Okay.
Yeah, and she's in the MCU because she's the ancient one.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
She'll
Samuel.
knock the soul out of you. Yep.
Okay. All right. Oh, what's my favorite of his? I mean, I did eventually watch Pulp Fiction. That was
Yeah.
that was an
Jules.
interesting movie. Very interesting.
Jules from Pulp Fiction is probably my favorite. One of my favorite of his. He's it's hard to pick. I mean, I love him as Nick Fury.
Mm-hmm.
But and Mace Windu. How can you go wrong with Mace Windu?
Yeah, how can you go wrong with the guy that came up with the purple lightsaber? I mean, it's
Yeah.
great, you know?
Basically, the guy that said, "George, I want to be, in these movies. Come up with something for me." Yep.
Yeah. And I want a different colored lightsaber.
I want a purple lightsaber. Well, whatever you say, Sam.
I saw a I don't know if that's true or not, but the article in an article somewhere that said in the Incredibles, he was one that was supposed to be the first one targeted. Like he was supposed to die. He was supposed to be the one next sent to that island initially. When they were being followed, they weren't following Mr. Incredible. They're actually following Frozen. I don't know if that's true. I think it was just a theory. I just thought it was kind of interesting.
I like that's a favorite. You can't. Frozen's a cool character. Where's my super suit?
Yeah.
Which there's an unspoken bitch at the beginning of that.
Right.
All right. You guys are gonna have to help me out with this one.
Toshiro Mifune.
Yeah. He was in the
the greatest Japanese actor of all time.
Okay.
He was basically, if there was a Kurosawa movie, he was in it.
Use your balls if you got any. Okay.
Yeah, Seven Samurai, classic, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Okay. I did have a phase where I went back and watched some of them. Old martial arts movies.
I think I've literally seen every movie he's ever been in.
Okay, that makes sense. They were following Frozen first, but then found out Mr. Incredible. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, that's who he was ultimately after, right? The bad guy.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. This will probably be the last one, but we're kind of running on time. But Nicolas Cage.
What a one to end on.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I did finally see the one of himself, the Incredible story, whatever.
The Incredible.
I still got to see Renfield because I keep hearing you guys keep talking about it. It's pretty good, but The Rock is always going to be one of my favorites of this.
Yeah.
Face Off, another
Con
one.
Air.
Yeah, Con Air. There's so many that he did. While I was growing up, that he did that I just really enjoyed. So.
Leaving Las
Ghost
Vegas
Rider.
is a very difficult watch.
Yeah. Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider, because I think that was in my teens, so it was fine for me. And I read no comics or anything like that, so there was nothing for me to go based off of. It was just a blind open of Ghost Rider. Yeah. So for me, I was like, cool, this guy can turn on fire, so. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he probably should.
I don't hate Cage.
I don't.
It's just not all his movies are winners,
No. Yeah. So that's what we'll. I don't know if Joe will want to continue any of these, but I just thought those were pretty cool.
Oh, we do need to continue because the next one up's Bogart. Then we got Brando. We got Alec Guinness, Michael Caine, Michelle Yeoh, Tom Hardy.
Okay. All right. Yeah. We'll let Joe know. Maybe we could continue some of these lists next week because I'm sure we'll never do video games again. So might as well look up some other lists while we're at it.
One day.
One day. And then we'll I don't know if I'll do it this week, but maybe I'll get the list together of just a bunch of movies, and we'll just see which ones I should really watch.
Going through the rest of this list, we won't cover it, but there's only a handful, like maybe 4 or 5, that I don't agree should be on this list. But other than that, it's a good list, and not all of them.
It was a collaboration. It looked like because it was a bunch of people at the top. So it wasn't just like one person's opinion. I did see a couple like that. I was like, yeah, one person. Tried to find something that was a little more collaborative.
Yeah.
But all right. So let's go with John. John, you got anything you want to? Let's see. How do you do this? Is it that one? There
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, let me give her this.
Well, obviously, I'm on here on every Wednesday. Try to be anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as me personally, I'm on Pop Culture Minefield. I'll be a panelist on tomorrow when we do part 1 of our what we're calling our fandom's greatest foes. Those people that have really tried to ruin fandom with their actions and stuff. So we're going to go through that list. Stuff like J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy, people like that. Friday, I am doing on Pop Culture Minefield. I am doing my second game day, and that is Baldur's Gate. I'll pick up where we left off as I try and get rid of the parasite in my head and save the world.
Yeah, I still got to get in. I played it for like 2 hours, and then I haven't gotten back to it because Starfield came out. So, but I'm done with Starfield. So, but then I got into Old Republic. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm still playing. I've got 2 characters. I got the one I'm playing for the stream, and I got my personal playthrough. My personal playthrough, I'm in the end game of it, but there's stuff that I didn't do any side quests. I was just powering through the main quest. But so I'm doing more side quests when I do the playthrough. But yeah, and I'm still doing Starfield. You beat Starfield already?
I did. I didn't go crazy with it and do everything. So I'm sure there's a second playthrough in my future. So,
oh yeah.
Game Plus. All right, you got anything else for you want to talk about, or you good with that?
Yeah, just Pop Culture Minefield most days.
And we'll most likely will we see you this Sunday?
Yes, actually, this Sunday I'll be there.
All right.
This was when I was actually planning on being there because I'm only going to be there about once a month.
Yeah.
So this was my planned Sunday because it's the Sunday after I go to my game day on Saturday and on the other side of the state. Because I go do a game day once a month. My friend runs like a mini con thing that he calls game day, and so I run a couple of games there, and and I've got a lot of friends that show up, so I go there to hang out with them and play games. But I run a Stargate game and a D&D game there. But
oh man, Stargate is love that series.
But yeah, so yeah, I'll be here this this weekend, ready for the Chiefs versus the Bears.
Oh God, okay. I'm probably
The Bears.
Yeah, the Bears. All
Well,
right, Matt.
by the way, the Bears talk about
a
bad week.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, yeah, nothing much to promote other than being here on Joe's channel. That's about it.
Hey, let me. There we go. Okay.
Definitely have to talk about the defensive coordinator, the former defensive coordinator of the Bears, come Sunday.
Yeah,
especially if what I'm hearing is true. Yeah, it's going to get ugly.
Well, that and Justin Fields, the day before, or maybe even the same, maybe even today, was blaming the coaches for his performance.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I saw an article on the way home. He's like he walked it back a little bit, but yeah, like they always do. Ariel, I didn't see Christopher. I don't know if he's on the list or not. We didn't cover the whole list, but he wasn't up to the point that we did.
Christopher Lee's not on the list.
No,
he was prolific. A lot of credits.
Yeah, so there's definitely this list was the one that we had was like just a collaboration between a group of people. So we had like Natalie Portman on it. So there was definitely some that were kind of. I don't know if I would put him on the top 50, actors and actresses.
I would put Christopher Lee ahead of Nick Cage and Natalie Portman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing the evil killer doggo, is that something in Baldur's Gate 3? She mentioned that at some point.
Could be.
Yeah, that's Scratch and Baldur's Gate 3.
Gotcha. Okay.
The dog in my camp.
Gotcha. All right. Well, hey, thanks for everyone that showed up. Thank you, gentlemen, for helping me do this. This is kind of a test run for me to, I've been thinking about doing streaming. I don't know if it's something I plan to do. It would definitely be something like on an evening night, that I would have to do this. I wouldn't be able to do this kind of thing during the day. So Joe was gracious. Joe's out for the week. He's was he up in Maine?
Yep.
Yeah.
Something like this. So so he'll be back, I believe, Saturday. So no Thursday night show, but I believe he will be back for. Let's see if I can find it. No, I don't know all this. There we go. I believe it's this one.
Yeah.
There we go.
Back Saturday.
Sketching with the Privateer. He does this one on Saturday mornings. Or no, Saturday. I think he does it in the afternoon, like around 1 or 2 Eastern.
1:30 Central.
Or Central? Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we do on Sundays. This is I won't promote everything for him, but the next couple things he's doing. This is where we'll be. Usually, the four of us will be on there, and I think we have someone joining us for the next one.
Yeah, is it Johnny?
Yeah, so we might have a
Johnny
fifth person. Yeah, Johnny Rock. So he might be joining up for that one. Of course, hopefully we'll be back with our KOTOR runs on Monday night, and then by then Joe will be able to show all his stuff. Well, he'll probably do it on Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
But and because that's when he comes back on Saturday. So so it was a lot of fun. Do the show. Let me show off that banner once again because I don't know when we'll see this again. But I just really thought it was a funny idea. It's the state of the Nocosfere. So if Joe's out for a week and maybe every once in a while I'll come in and take over for a show.
That'll be cool.
I like how it's ATM that's scratched out like an ATM machine.
Yeah. We were trying to think. I was trying to think of some funny way. Like my thought process with Deadpool, something like that. What Deadpool would do as a joke. It's like, I'm taking this over. Like, this is my show kind of deal. So that was the whole thinking behind it. But
you know how I hate self-promotion? I actually forgot something that's kind of important.
Yeah, what you got?
Next Tuesday is my I pushed it off because I was supposed to do Talk Like a Pirate Day, and I had technical difficulties, so I had to cancel that at the beginning of it. But I am doing my first episode of my Heisei Era Godzilla show on Tuesday at 4 Central.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Which those I get thousands of views on that, so that's kind of like I get a lot of traffic on those. So,
all right, cool. Yeah, absolutely. All right, and then we got what's here at the start. Hopefully, we get more of these. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I appreciate that. Like I said, I haven't decided yet. I have been changing my names. Like my names and all my stuff is Ronimus TV. Just kind of, it's I guess the name I'm going to go for now. I know Joe's been trying to get me to come up with like a cool theme for my name as a start. Ronimus in some kind of artistic form. Will you have that song Talk Like a Pirate? I don't know about that. But thanks for everyone for coming. And Joe will be back Saturday, so that's the next time we'll see him. So until then, let me see if I can get this. What I want to do. There's a lot of things on this page, and I have no idea. So I appreciate everyone for coming. Not quite yet,
and you're trying to stretch out every possible word.
Know where all of his videos are. Oh my goodness, he's got so many. There's the countdown. That's not it either yet. So yeah,
but it's a good video.
It is a good video, yeah. Yep. Just trying to find where.
Or you could do a Sopranos ending.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to find. I saw him earlier. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find the videos on this list here, and I'm not seeing what I'm looking for. I had it planned out earlier, and now it's gone. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I don't think there was that much dead air. I don't think it
Along.
went okay. I don't know.